Hello, I am Disparu, and we start this week with the rather predictable news of Elden Ring. Yes, Elden Ring launched to massive fanfare very quickly, becoming one of the best reviewed games ever, getting lots of 10 out of 10s. This game was perfect, and the players very rapidly said, no it isn't. Performance issues plagued it all over PC. It didn't matter how powerful your PC was, you're still going to have issues. Xbox also had various different issues with its connectivity online, and PlayStation had this rather weird issue that if you turned it off when it wasn't expecting it, it may just not save. But over time, Elden Ring have been working on it. They've released multiple patches on PC, I'm assuming they have on console as well. I've heard that they've fixed the Xbox issue, for instance, and due to this, these scores have been rising. On Steam, it started on a mixed 68%, but now it's risen to 72%, and it is steadily climbing as the issues slowly get solved, and we are hearing that most of the stuttering and performance issues on PC have been fixed along with an Nvidia driver to increase the performance. So all in all, they are going in the right direction, and they plan to continue. Of course, this didn't really stop people doing what they do in Elden Ring, such as players killing a boss that they're not already supposed to be killing. Yes, you are meant to die to the first initial boss, just to kind of give you an introduction to the game. This game is going to be pain, you're going to die a lot, and it really wants you to know that up front. Of course, some players have already decided they don't care about your lesson, and they're going to kill it anyway. And that's what they did. Now, considering when you die to this boss, it just teleports you past it because you're meant to. I can't imagine how many times this guy had to try the boss and restart the game just to get through, but it's one hell of an achievement. And so is the actual player numbers. The player numbers started really well at 764,000 concurrents, and then just rose day by day up to now 891,000 concurrents. This actually puts it third on Steam, and it's only, if you go by the peaks, 70,000 behind Lost Ark. Of course, Lost Ark is free to play, and Elden Ring is a full price game, so it's not even a fair comparison. And even with that unfair comparison, it's still that close. And yesterday, it was only 40,000 behind it. But as the actual numbers for Elden Ring increase day by day, and Lost Ark is still having all of those server issues, it will be interesting to see if they manage to catch that or even overtake it at some point. I have to say, one of my favourite things about Elden Ring has been players trolling each other using the notes on the ground. Very early on when you start the game, there is a ledge off into nowhere, and one of these notes on the ground simply says, "Try jumping." As you can tell by the blood marks all over the floor, lots of players did, and it didn't end well for them. Anything like this that's in a game allowing players to actually troll other people, I love. Now, it's not too invasive, and you can completely ignore them, so it's purely voluntary. But just knowing this is possible, and right off the bat, people are learning those notes. Probably not the best things to listen to a lot of the time. Yeah, I think it's a great addition to the game. Call of Duty is reportedly getting delayed. Not this year's, that's going to be Modern Warfare 2 to all intents and purposes, but in 2023, that is the one that's getting delayed, and I think this is a very interesting thing. The delay will put that game solidly behind the Microsoft acquisition, assuming it all goes through correctly, and I don't actually think that CoD needs an annual release anymore, especially with Warzone. Warzone is such a behemoth that as long as they put out good content for it, and not things like the Pacific map or Vanguard integration, then I think it could go on for a very long time, and that keeps people in the Call of Duty ecosystem. And so they don't even need a Call of Duty every single year. You've got Warzone to tide people over, and Warzone 2, coming out in 2023, will fill that Call of Duty gap for that year anyway. With the number of players buying Vanguard declining, I think Activision are really hoping that Modern Warfare 2 injects some new life back into the franchise, but will it have had enough time in development? Because it's seeming like Vanguard didn't. While I like the multiplayer, the zombies is truly awful. It had seemingly barely any time put into it, and that's something that desperately could have been done with being delayed a year. So I am fully behind a delay of Call of Duty. If it actually increases the time that they can have in development and leads to a better game and a better zombies mode, then I find it very difficult to actually come up with any downsides for it at all. With the release of Warzone 2 in the same year, assuming it hits all the right notes, Activision may not even notice that they haven't released a Call of Duty that year, so all in all, I don't think there's a downside for them, and I think as gamers, there's only upsides for us. Let's face it, Call of Duty doesn't really change that much year to year, that it's not like playing the old one for another year is going to be that much different anyway. When Microsoft proposed to buy Activision Blizzard, I think most people expected it to go through without a hitch. However, 2 lawsuits are attempting to change that. 2 stockholders are in fact attempting to sue Activision Blizzard in order to actually stop the merger going through in the first place. One lawsuit states that the Activision board failed to create an independent committee composed of disinterested directors to run the sales process. The board has entered into the merger to procure for themselves significant and immediate benefits. As it states here, if the sale goes through, executives at Activision Blizzard will get anywhere up to $30 million compensation, with the current CEO getting $15 million according to the SEC filing. The lawsuit also alleges that the statement made to the SEC is materially deficient and lacking information necessary to make intelligent, informed, and rational decision on whether to vote for the merger. In a statement to Polygon, Activision Blizzard spokesman said, "We disagree with the allegations made in this complaint and look forward to presenting our arguments in court." And honestly, I'm no lawyer, but given the size of the companies, you would have expected them to see something like this coming and followed the correct procedure, so I don't know exactly how much legs or likelihood of success this lawsuit has. But given the size of the deal going through and the effect it'll have on the industry, I do think lawsuits like this are interesting to know about in the least. There have been rumors for a while that PlayStation is looking to create a competing service to Xbox Game Pass and move that onto other platforms, such as PC. And while we don't have any news of that yet, PlayStation does seem to be making moves in the sort of Xbox Game Pass competitive style, with the day one launch of Shadow Warrior 3 on PS Now. It is unusual to do this before they've launched their other service. We don't really know whether this is some kind of soft launch or just a sort of a message to show the direction that they're hoping to go with the new service, but either way, I think this is a good idea. Xbox Game Pass is something I've been subscribed to for a few months, and I signed up to it purely because of the day one games. It just made the value proposition far too good to actually pass up. These were loads of games that I would have paid full price for, but now I only have to pay for a month, and after a month or two, I'm probably done with the game anyway. So if Sony follows this model and starts to do a load of quality day one games themselves, and they actually do it on PC, then hey, I'm all for it, and I think this is a great move for Sony. The Steam Deck has just launched. If you think of the Switch and then turn it into a PC, that's basically what it is. But Elon Musk has a different idea when it comes to portable gaming. He wants to play Steam games in your car. And honestly, I'm here for it. If you nail self-driving cars and I get to play games on the way there, sounds like a win to me. I might actually see some point in a road trip and how fun that can be, as long as I can actually game on the way there. Replying on Twitter, someone asked him, new model SX version of Cyberpunk when? And Elon replied, we're working on the general case of making Steam games work on Tesla for specific titles. Former is obviously where we should be in the long term. Now obviously this is a long way in the future, not that it bothers me. I'm not very likely to own a Tesla either, but I do think it's a good idea. If you can kind of nail the self-driving aspect, you could put anything there. You could put Xbox, PlayStation, or anything else and game while you're there and the car drives you on the way. And if in my lifetime I can go from having nothing to do as a kid except play I Spy out the window to being able to drive anywhere automatically and play the latest games, I consider that a win personally. The popular game Dead by Daylight is getting a dating sim spin-off. No, I'm not joking. I don't even know what this story is. I don't know how to take it. I don't know where it's going. Completely bizarre to me. A trademark has been spotted for Hooked on You, a Dead by Daylight dating simulator. Honestly, I don't know whether this is meant to be an April Fool's joke or not, but a legitimate trademark has been filed for it. The description does confirm that this is for a video game, as well as perhaps associated comic books or graphic novels. Considering Dead by Daylight is an asymmetrical 4v1 horror game, I don't understand how that fits into dating, and I'm not sure I exactly want to know, but we're definitely going to find out. The game is based off killers sacrificing their victims on hooks. It sounds like a date that I don't particularly want to be a part of, but I am very interested in some bizarre way to see what on earth they actually come up with. And it seems that this idea didn't completely come out of the blue, considering last year Dead by Daylight sent out a survey to its players, asking them what they would like the brand to expand into next, and one of the options was a dating simulator. So, well, a lot of the players may have actually picked that as a joke. It seems that they may be getting more than they actually bargained for. But let me know what you think of any of the topics down below. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe, more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.